how our ancestors, the Negroes, once again, in their resilience as God in their declaration to prove that they were a people in the midst of a hostile nations that were against them. They proved just how, and I hope it's a video out right now that's talking about, let me talk like I got some sense here. There's a video right now, which I've seen several videos. And every time you look up, when we bring this information out, it's like it gets scrubbed off the internet. Unless we keep our foot mashed on the gas, you won't hear about it. And a lot of people will be ignorant to the fact that our people, without being educated by the Europeans when they were brought, enslaved and brought over here, right? Taken captive and enslaved and brought over here. Notice they never went to none of their schools to be educated, right? And when I was listening to the narrator, be it black or white, it's not a black or white issue. It's a, everybody like tell you, oh, it's easy, you can just do this and do that. Standard. It's like these jigaboos get their tail on here talking about, black people need to shut up. Black people are complaining, and the opportunity is there if you just reach out and take it. No, all black people ain't just happy, lucky go. Once you do your research, let me tell you how this works. There's a spiritual connection to this, right? Right? So once you do your research, and while you're researching, real life is going on. And you're realizing that your ancestors went through all this bullshit. They attempt to deny, not that you're researching this information to be a problem. We already got a problem. The objective is to solve the problem. Why they keep denying the damn problem. So we have to solve the problem that they deny. Our people are an industrious class. And think about it. These people they brought from Africa. And I'm bringing that up because, and the fact that they're an industrious people, because the Bible is talking about. And what a lot of us fail to see, because I understand once you find out what really happened and how you come out of the world and messing with their systems and things, I understand. That part a lot of people don't get. Like I hear, who was that? That's this Anton Daniels. I'm constantly hearing about it. I'm constantly hearing them talk about this video and what's really pissing people off. This whole information, this whole process. And let's use it as a learning tool. I care less what that gentleman thinks or how he feels. This is the point I'm making, and it brings not just him, but all that are connected to these systems and have a way, and they getting it. It loves, as I'm researching to learn about us and what I'm asking, why, it's been that way. And then when you trying, well, we ain't trying, we figured it out. It's biblical. We know because of disobedience, the Most High said he would scatter his people, right? And this people that we talking about, they wasn't just no any people. It's like, it reminded me of that song Rick Ross made when I used to listen to that. But he used a phrase, a part of his rap, he explained the builders and architects and builders of the pyramids. no caterpillars. It was just a lot of niggas, a lot of great and same difference here in America. Fast forward to America and look at not just the White House, but I'm gonna use the White House as an example, right? Because there were big stones and things they had to move. And then when you look at the time, it was like 1700s coming into the 1800s. They didn't have no caterpillars. So what I'm doing here is looking at, okay, those from that time when they were building the pyramids and things, which were the Hebrews. Now stay with me. That's why I'm connecting Negroes today. If you don't know, I'm not trying to convince nobody. I'm not trying to evangelize nobody into nothing. I just speak what I know to be true and let the truth establish itself. Let it go forth, and who it's meant to get to, it'll get to. But the correlation in the Negroes, them was Negroes in Israel. I mean, in Egypt, when they built them, that were treated harshly by the Egyptians, right? Made it right because the same characteristics. Think about it. These people, Moses sojourned through Egypt, and the Egyptians are way darker. But I know my DNA go back to Africa. I ain't tripping. Ain't no questioning. Some of us just light skinned, you did. Some of us light skinned. But I'm looking at these parallel worlds in different times, but seeing the same characteristics and quality of people working under the same type conditions. When I'm reading, that's even when I'm reading the book of Exodus, I'll be like, man, it just hit my spirit and it just rock my whole mind's eye. It just rocks my whole mind's eye understanding in a way where I come alive, family. It's like that rejuvenates my life, takes me in a place where nothing can stop. I don't care what it is. I feel I feel like I grow strong, like I'm connected to them. And it's just that's the fact. It's the fact of the matter. We are the people. Now, like I was saying, I'm not here to do no history research on who the people, who the Israelites, and who not, who the Hebrews, who not, who are the house of Israel and who's not, who are the Gentiles. You should know that by now. Every day you got people on there studying this and putting the information out. Me, I'm moving on because in order to rule a kingdom, you have to operate you have to operate within a system that has been established by the Most High already because you are children of the Most High, made in His image and after His likeness. So there's no questioning what you're capable of doing once you set your heart and mind to it as a people. I'm just listening to this documentary and they talking about, that's why, my lady be like, she always say that. She don't mess with me about that no more, but why you always constantly read the same thing over and over? Because if I read it the right with the right mindset, rooted in what I know is the way to operate, to discover these things, research, analyze the research, cross-reference it with other materials. 2 or 3 witnesses establish a thing. That's from a Hebraic perspective, right? So when I'm researching these things, I'm looking for information that aligns. I ain't into making nothing up. You know what I'm saying? It won't work like that. But the parallel is not coincidence. It's not a coinky dink. When you think about it, it's just the truth. Think about it. The Father is the Spirit. So when your spirit operating, whether you know it or not, family, and then you're royalty. We run around here like we peasants, moving like peasants. They hate us, but a lot of us don't know that we're royal people. that we come from this majestic bloodline by the law, not just something you saying. Go down a list of great inventions the Negroes invented, and they're still functioning today, or that has created an institution in which nations now operate. Of nations, and everybody think they're great because of that. All the time, it's them Negroes. The fact that these are God's people. And think about it. The word is instructing you. It don't. You ain't gotta go praying every 5 minutes. He already told you what to do, and when you operating in that, you are sure that's an act of worship. Everything you do is an act of worship. Period. It could be aligned worship where you're cognizant, you have knowledge, but the resemblance of the Negroes today and the Hebrews experience on a subject. Listening to the narrator of heavy machinery to move, they didn't even create. They had to create these stones themselves. Specific stones they used. So, and they had to, and they used a system of law because look how it's measured. It's specific and detailed. It ain't all over the place. It's the home. It's the pinnacle of any building that's made here. The Bible in the book of Exodus, I already know what the news is about. It's fresh. It's on our mind constantly. We're reminded, bombarded of everything that's going wrong. There is no solution, or people obviously don't believe in what they say they believe in. A lot of people say they believe on the Most High and they follow Him. I don't think they truly do, because a lot of us getting up right now going to work for that same system. That's the system. That's Babylon's system. But understand it. This how the word. This how you know the word is true. Because everything written in there says these things. This is this people. These are my people. You will know them because the sign's gonna be on them and on their children. Deuteronomy 40, chapter 28, verse 45. These signs gonna be on these people, God's people, the Hebrews, because they broke the covenant. Yes, they were blessed. They were living and thriving. They were in their land, serving their God, but they broke that covenant, family. And when they broke the covenant, the judgment that's already set. Why? Because there's a law operating. Everything has a law in order for you to be able to operate effectively and successfully. You have to read the instructions, no matter what you do. But look at this people. Look at these people, family. Look at that, look at that, look at that, look at that. The fact that we didn't have no tools other than shovels, and then it relied on the mental prowess, the knowledge these people have as builders. And if you think I'm lying, George Washington Carver, that's who helped construct the nation state of Washington. Washington, D.C. is his own state. It's a nation state. Look it up. I believe, if I'm not, it's a district of Columbia, but it's a nation state, if I'm not mistaken. DC is different, family. But seeing things like that and hearing the stories, they're doing the work for you if you pay attention, which should cause you to awaken and to return. That's what it means by how many of them will hear the word and return back to the covenant. Because in the covenant, you don't have all this. See how it's what Christ mean when he said, come out of the world, come out of the world and work the law. Stand in your covenant and work the laws of the kingdom. The Father already gave you the instruction. All you gotta do is do it. You ain't got, and you can't depend on, and I'm telling you from experience. If you think I'm just coming on here talking, I don't know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about. I've never had this idea where I wanted to, I'm gonna go and have this life based on America, the American dream. No, we was never afforded that. We wasn't afforded that dream. It didn't begin like that for us. But now, in the year, after 400 years, Genesis 15, them people in Deuteronomy 30, Moses said, in the lands where you scattered, when you remember yourself and repent and return to your covenant, keep his commandments and walk in obedience, then he will remember you and he will regather you. You have to understand there's a lot going on. Even with Genesis 15, people go, oh, well, y'all said it's been 400 years. Why he ain't gathered you yet? And a lot of people rush the gun. I was thinking about some of the channels that have came out. Oh, yes, he's going to grab us. It's going to be ships. Woo, woo. Okay, you probably had the vision. I ain't doubting that because it's going to happen. Deuteronomy 30 tells you. Plain as day. Not just Deuteronomy 30, but you got Isaiah 11. It talks about the people that were scattered, and you got to know, they were even scattered and chased up out of Jerusalem. Christ told them it would happen. And who did it? The Romans. Who are the Romans? And I just did a video on that the other day. So even for the guy that left a message on my video, or whoever that was, saying, why don't I go beyond in expressing my understanding of go beyond the initially what's written. When I read Matthew 15:24, Christ said, I didn't come for the lost sheep, for the house of Israel, faith. You know, God is not going to say this one or that one. So it's not meat to give the children's food to the dogs. And she rebutted like, well, even the dogs gets crumbs, and I don't have my Bible right here, but even dogs get crumbs sometimes from the master's table. And he was moved by her faith. And because of that, he told her to be it unto you because of your faith. He granted her what she was requesting and what she believed, because she believed on the Father. Because she believed, it was granted to her. Take these pancakes up to my baby while he's piping his out. Yes, they are hot. Hot mama. Excuse me, be right back. Want me to bring him up there? Nope, I've got to serve with me. Yes, butter is on. Let's see. Hot. Butter. Marinate in that. You welcome. What? Yeah, enjoy your food. Don't fucking me. Yeah. Got a problem with yourself, bro. Hell, y'all be trying to fuss with people, fuck. A lot of great inventors. No caterpillars, it was just a bunch of niggas. A lot of great inventors and a lot of great thinkers. They've never been to no school. So I can see them being, yeah, them people that came from over there, why they try to talk about they had no education and this and that. They had something greater. These are kingdom builders, family. You got to, when we look at us, you gotta look at it on a higher level, family. You have to. I understand what's going on around us, and I see the effect that it has. And it may seem like, well, that's old. We don't follow that no more, this and that. Shit, you about to change that. The EU and India made a trade agreement that's bypassing America. Like I was just expressing last night to one of the brothers. Follow the money. Then you got a lot of these family. Everything ain't going America's way. No, no, no. Bad as fuck. He just went over there and expressed how important it is for the EU to do business with their cousins. Don't allow others to come between us, but then the EU like, homeboy, you with the tariffs. And like I was trying to explain to one of the kings, be careful with this money system. It's different. It's different, family. Nations are pulling out, de-dollarizing. I'm not trying to spook no or cause no hysteria. It's the truth. And you're going to need to know what things to start looking towards investing in. So your assets will have credibility. Just like the dollar. Ain't nothing backing your dollar but America's, that the nation's hope America will stand on its commitment to pay its due, pay its debts. You know, they moving in good faith. It's spiritual. Ain't nothing backing that. And now that these nations are coming out like that and devising these long-term trade agreements that don't include us, that ain't good. That ain't good. And I hear people, oh yeah, he made agreement with this and that. Man, well, for that one, look how many left. Even Canada about to make, that deal even affects Canada. They going against us, man. And then Saudi Arabia is, to add insult to injury, look at Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is supporting no, they not allowing America to strike Iran or even use their airspace to go after Iran. Have y'all seen that? They cut the petrodollar. There is no more oil for dollars. They're using their own form of currency. And right now, the yuan, I believe they even got the China Shanghai Gold Express back up and running. I've seen that where nations can go and get gold, to use gold to do business. They got the Shanghai Express Gold Market, the China Gold Market, and they are selling a lot of gold. Like these nations they call third world, they got natural resources, right? They can use their mineral resources to acquire. They don't have gold. It's the nations that are rising, and it's a whole lot of little ones, that ain't in alignment with the American. I don't have to listen to them. I see it. It's common sense. I'm a dude that you know, it's the hustle. I was in the streets hustling. So I know how things can turn in terms of cash money flow. Being able to dominate a certain area for so long, then change comes. A change, a glitch in the matrix pops up. Shit, you got competition now. You got that A1. Now competition then came with that A1. Plus they got more than you, and it's at a cheaper price. So they can reach more people. It's just like being in the streets, man. That's what I like in these institutions too, because they not based on God's law. They ain't built on God's instruction to establish the kingdom. He didn't tell you go establish your own religion or government or none of that. Remember, he was your king and all the king you needed. He was all the king you needed. But what did we want? We wanted a king like the nations, like the other nations had. Oh no, we want a king to rule over us. Most I told you what had happened to you. How he would rule over you and take all your stuff. Your children would serve him. You would serve him. And you got to realize we ain't dealing with no democracy when you're dealing with a kingdom. The king owns everything. The money, your breath, the water, everything the king owns. So there's a difference in approach and how things play out when you're dealing with a kingdom. And in that kingdom, the king's law is what establishes the culture. Now, I understand America. Oh no, we don't keep the law. Christ fulfilled the law, we don't have to do that no more. But your government has a standing law, has a constitution, and has laws that's supposed to govern the people of this nation. The nation and its officers and the people of the citizens of that nation. Make it make sense, family. Let's think before we speak sometimes. And then I'm gonna do my research, because all these are factors that play into Genesis 15 and the regathering. The brother, the 144,000, and those of the nations that love me. Yeah. Everybody coming forth to be judged. And the judgment is after his reign. End time judgment. That's when he comes back. Set things back in order, and then we go into his reign. And we getting closer and closer to the end times, like Ezekiel prophecy, and things of that nature. There's going to be a regathering of the original. It's going to be a regathering of Jacob's descendants. 144,000 that go back into the land. Ezekiel 37. There's so much going on. And I'm peeping while right here sitting in this little old America. Like, what needs to be done? We need to shift. I know what I'm gonna do. What I've always did. I've never had that. Never been able to get a leg up. Like I was saying, you got brothers and sisters talking, well, all you gotta do is apply and get this. No. It don't work like that for some of us. Because some of us got moral standards. I don't mess with them people. At gunpoint, I don't mess with their money either. All that's about to change too. They're gonna put the tax on this motherfucker to be able to even do business. Because America's losing its footing. It's not that nation where everybody looking to run to. In spite of what you hear on the news, you gotta pay attention to the money. Pay attention to what the money is doing. Politicians don't run nothing but their mouth. It's these businesses, it's these corporations, these rich folk with the real money that own your government. They set we just seen them in a meeting. And our president was over there making his plea to the world on behalf of America, the United States, and its citizens. Not a plea of begging, but business. They were discussing business, the state of business and the direction that they're going in. But it wasn't God, it was Washington, family. No, Washington is just Washington, and the people over there are just actors in a bigger play. You did? It's a bigger play at play. What you talking about, Wayne? The rulers of these nations, the real rulers, the money handlers. That's who rule these nations. They just showed you. And Dubos. Who set the agenda? What the Senate? What was the Senate at? So, all you gotta do is pay attention. And then make your decisions, because it's gonna be a lot of shifting, family, in the near right now future. A lot of people have lost jobs, so many, especially I'm looking at them, they taking down information about it, like everything that reminds you of what they've done, they're trying to remove so they can regain that credibility in the world. That's on them. And like I said, the Bible said it will happen to the nations. And those nations whom God's people shall serve for 400 years, they didn't serve 400 years over there in Egypt. I don't care what your preacher's saying or any of these people that come on this internet. And I liken it to, well, maybe some people, they even went as far as to go into the time span with Abraham was in there. He didn't say when Abraham was in Canaan land. Then they go into when Jacob was first pulled into Canaan land. Now, if they do their research and read Genesis 46, you'll read what God told Jacob to go down into Egypt. And there, they went there because the Most High made them a great nation. He sent his call out to all, which is still set in eternity. This is the covenant between him and man. Now, this is we can't look at world politics and all that. That doesn't govern. That don't mean nothing in the kingdom of heaven. Your government is nothing. You know what we have going on here is nothing. You've been charged to come here and operate in a way that's reflective of the eternal. Not through no systems and corporations and all that. That's why we have problems. Because we don't follow instructions. We get away with the law through their religion that they taught us. And we get on here every day and we argue with people. You listen to people that's on here in the internet world like they real. Like the shit they doing on the internet like it has an effect in real time in the real world. Some of these dudes on here talking and jockeying for position. That's all they're doing is jockeying for position. Because if the internet go down, what all this energy, all these followers and all these people so interested in their ass gonna be? Will they continue to support them? And it's about to be a shakeup in their finances. Everything connected to that dollar is about to get shaken up in that credit system. It's about to get shaken the fuck up, whether we understand economics or not. Why? Because the nations are pulling out of doing business solely with America. And they're not using the dollar. So that cuts us out. People ain't paying attention, and we trusting the authors of confusion that's messing up everything, decoupled itself from us in terms of businesses. That's what I want to know. Nations like Saudi Arabia, Japan, Europe, why are they making these big long-term $1 trillion and $1 billion deals that's going to create infrastructure and security on that infrastructure in their nations? Why are they cutting us off? A lot of those nations that had contracts with us to do business are opting out. So that means our dollar, for everyone that's coming in, look how many done left. And that one coming in don't mean it's going to secure the nation. That's for those who invested in that shit. Can we all get invested in it? Yeah. But you got to look at what's in play. This nation is going to fall. Yeah. I don't see America standing in nothing. I don't see it being as strong as it once was or ever coming back. And for the brothers and sisters who have a heart for our people and they get out here every day, stay on top of this information so they can see and put it out there where people can make sound judgment, sound decisions on how to move. Look who's moving and shaking. Okay, it's time to start looking at gold, looking at silver. Like China's the biggest producer of silver. China is setting a record. And China's causing the American hegemony to crumble because we can't control it. And think about all them people invested in silver. Paper silver. America don't have that damn silver to cover all their investments they went in and allow people to invest in to make money off of. It's a lot going on where through de-dollarization and other means of nations opting out of doing business, these big business deals with America, as we can see. Now, remember, Homeboy just came from Dubose, right? What concessions did he get? Besides Europe, supposed to be our allies, and that's they cousins. They can't do nothing without. They doing $1 trillion of business overseas with India. Like, what to respect that? Beginning with, oh boy, we seen no talking to them. Yeah, he get a few deals with some companies and they coming in building. But where's all this motherfucking manufacturing that's in? If it's here, why it ain't? Where's the jobs it's creating? Where's the input back into the U.S. soil? Where is it putting back into it and creating these waves of jobs that creates stability and security for families that can, and not just jobs, but it creates business opportunity. Where are these deals at? But don't know why I want to believe it's 400 years and their time is up. It's the end of that world. Right now, we're operating on God time. It's kingdom time. Because the law proves it. God's law. Without it, nothing can function. So I'm just at a point where I'm like, I can cut the world off. The only thing the world can give for me is what as far as what I know and understand, can practice, as the Bible tells you, to test all spirits and take all thoughts into captivity unto Christ. You want to first seek him, seek his wisdom, read the book. Everything you looking to understand: economic plan, financial plan, family planning, how to build your household. The financing come from planting seeds. You plant a seed. It's one thing about the natural law, spiritual law. It's guaranteed. When you buy a dog, when you go to work, and you allow them to pay you with dollars, using dollars or the credit system, ain't nothing bad in that but faith. You having faith that they gonna stand on the value of this thing that you use, that they gonna back it. When you go to use it. Well, that system is coming to an end fast. Trump ain't gonna save it. Sorry to tell you the truth. Mm-mm. You got too many. America don't produce shit but $1 in the war machine. And you can try that tough shit. Talking about we're gonna blow people up. Well, we done armed all of them. You can't. If you do that, then you really fucked. The nations ain't gonna mess with you supporting that. Only ones that supporting that bullshit is the people that in this country and those who benefit from it. That's like with Trump, with this. Okay, they did this thing with the peace agreement. You see how the nation's saying they want to be a part of it. They want to have a say in it, which I don't blame. Somebody should have been took the goddamn on initiative to come forward and say, hey, let's put a peace agreement together and put the nations on it. Now, we understand what that means biblically. We know the time because thus said the Most High. We know what this means biblically, but it seems like the world don't. Carry on. All these things must come to pass for what we're looking for, and you have to recalibrate your mind, your heart. You have to see this thing. You got to see it. The kingdom is here. Now it's being brought into center stage. Straight up. People ain't believing. That's just, no, that ain't wishful thinking. Y'all, we gonna see the prophecies that was written about God, the kingdom, and his people. This is what you're gonna start to see, or you're gonna be locked in tune with them and what they bringing out to try and save their system. You're gonna be lockstep with that. And family. Bottom line is they're gonna have to sell. They sell their citizens. They use us. That's the collateral that we'll go to work and work it off. And through working, paying these taxes. That goes into the system to pay his bills. But shit, they ain't paying the bills. We still 38 trillion in fucking debt. And with the debt comes interest. Like, how the fuck this nation, how? Man, I don't see it. And people keep talking about, yeah, he's doing a good thing, making moves here and there, but his moves ain't gonna stand because you doing wicked. That ain't godly. The nations ain't gonna flock to that because we got fucking weapons. So what? You kill yourself if you use the weapons against everybody else. Who won't do business with us after what they did over there in Venezuela? Those nations ain't finna fucking play ball with America. They don't need Venezuela. Venezuela is a partner to a degree with BRICS in business and trade with some of the BRICS nations, and I assume they were applying to become a member of BRICS. That's why everybody's so fired up about them. Like, come on, man. They ain't gonna mess with us after homeboy did that. They don't have to do shit. They allow them to use their air bases. We'll see how that turns out. That could turn. But I don't see it turning because they can already cut the petrodollar. Maybe they got Iran. We keep forgetting them. Russia was selling a whole lot of oil when the war first jumped off. Then they blew their pipeline up. What was the Nord Stream pipeline? That was connecting Russian oil to Europe. They fucking got oil. They don't need no oil from nowhere else. I see them in China using that oil or purchasing oil because why? Okay, they have reserves. They just like America, they want to hold to them. Our reserves are low. We needed that oil. What the hell? Somehow we produce so much oil. We only produce enough. Then you have to buy oil. If you're producing enough, why the hell you buying oil? But them buying oil from Venezuela, I believe it was more of a political move to get the ball rolling on what we seeing now. They done already cut America off. They ain't fucking worried about America. They can cut us off, fella. They ain't the least bit worried about you. Don't get it twisted listening to a lot of all this bullshit ass rhetoric, this tough guy rhetoric shit. I'm telling you, it's bigger than that, fella. The tough guy shit don't fly. in business. Because one thing about it is like the street. Boy, they gonna match you with that energy. I don't give a fuck who you is. People run around here like, oh, look, America is gonna be held accountable just like anybody else. These people ask to be touched just like anybody else. They fuck around, get down with the wrong country on some shit. They'll motherfucking reach out and touch their ass. I truly believe it. I don't think no fucking nation is scared of America. People would like to do business with America because they think it will bring them this beautiful ass return on their investment. But America, with all this extra shit, with its policies, them nations ain't going for that shit they used to go for. Starting with Europe, pay attention. They own cousins, fucking cut them in trade. Like y'all better wake the fuck up. That's gonna have an effect on us. All that dominance, that shit finna end. That's ended. That's a fucking slap in the face right there for Europe to do that. And the world is watching like, what the fuck are they doing? Genesis 15, that's what's going on, and man can't do nothing about it. You better pay heed to the Bible. I'm telling you. That's what's happening. Yeah, pay attention to what's going on, but you got God's kingdom through his instruction and the things that he has given man. We could live, fam. Everything we supposed to have free damn water, free damn everything anyway. What are we paying these bastards to use God's water for? And he told you to use these things and be fruitful and multiply with them. The fuck is we paying them for? Like, stop playing. Cut their ass to fuck do business with them. I done got wise. You can say what you want to say. I don't know what you talking about. Bullshit. Ain't everybody stupid but them. Fuck out of here. I remember my dad used to say that. So everybody's stupid but you, huh? Hell no, Dad. That's a stupid person that thinks everybody's stupid but them. Stupid is what stupid does. Now that will be some stupid shit to believe. Right there. If America, we believe we the smartest motherfucking cookie in the batch. And can't no other nation make it without us. They need us. Your goddamn food. Only thing we got is the ability to print all them fucking inflated ass dollars. And we got a fucking military. America, we ain't got shit else. And they selling us our fucking services that they taxing us from to foot the bill. That's all the heck we got, family. Stop playing, open your eyes, and pay attention. A lot of people gonna lose. I'm watching Warren Buffett pulling out a lot of his investments. Paying attention to it. Or are you listening to somebody talking about we gonna make America great? You better know how they propose to do that. Because if it ain't based on God's law for this nation to be great, ain't gonna be nothing popping, talking about nothing gonna be great coming up out of here. And it ain't gonna be. That's great. That's your Father in heaven. That's enough. That's an affront to even dealing with the Father, saying all that. Like, people gotta wake up. We got a lot of idolatry. These are idolatrous religious people. They don't believe in. They know it's a God. They just don't believe him or trust to follow him. Because why? Christ told you, don't be like the Gentiles. Don't pray like them, because they pray for clothes and food and all that shit. Like, oh, we got the greatest this, we got the greatest that. You ain't got the greatest shit. You got a collective body that helps to produce. Y'all don't got shit. And I ain't got nothing against my cousins, but I gotta tell them the truth. Y'all don't got shit. When Africa cut Europe off, look what happened. Why everybody running over there and they talking shit about the Negroes over here and talking about running to Europe, because Europe ain't got shit. Stop playing. They have to go and renegotiate new deals. And they had to pull together. And they have to make some strong decisions. That's why they made the decision not to go along with what we doing through our commander in chief. His ass need to learn some decorum. All that going before them talking about all the shit we done did. We know what we did. Now it's time to make new agreements. You can't run every motherfucking thing. People ain't allowing you. I wouldn't allow that shit. I'm producing. I got an oil producing nation. You think you finna dictate some shit to me? Is you crazy? We can do business, but you can try to get on that tough shit and send your military over there. And I have weapons. I'll blow every motherfucker. We all go. Who the fuck is you to think you gonna run in? And it ain't yours. I'm a sovereign nation. I wouldn't give a shit what European nations say. Well, we see what they doing. Europe going and doing business with the nations that stabbed America in the back, sort of say. I live in this motherfucker, so I'll be held just as accountable as them. Unless I don't, which I don't use their system. People, well, you should get an account. No, I shouldn't. I should be more creative with what I'm doing so it can get others interested in what I'm doing, and they would deal with me on a consistent basis. How we do business. I don't do business how the world tell you to do business. We do business the kingdom way. We have a commonwealth, and a lot of religious people don't understand that. That's why we steady talking about going before these people, holding them accountable. Yeah, hold their ass accountable, but we ain't holding our breath. We know how to stop messing with them, period. Cut their ass off. If they wicked, we gonna cut your ass off. Gotta cut you off for that. Can't mess with you until you repent, and it'll never go back the same. Hell no. Y'all go sit down so we can get this thing back together. Get things realigned for the nations to be able to operate in their power freely. You don't need no fucking one nation trying to overlord everything. Fuck out here. Those times them the old days, baby. Them people gonna raise up on your ass. That's what's gonna happen. But it's a lot going on, family. I hope y'all pay attention. It's gonna be a big ass shift. When people talking about running to, no, I'm not running to your banks and shit. I'm trying to run to gold. I'm trying to run to things like, mineral resources. You could buy those things, invest in them. But I'm investing in tangible. Start small. You can order gold from anywhere. Gold and silver. Gold, silver, other mineral resources. Take you a trip over there to Africa, South America. They produce gold. Go over there. What? You got Guyana. Guyana staying with us. They was a big supporter of the push for reparations for what the hell these people did to our ancestors. And they got a whole lot of mineral resources. They are rich. And remember, bro went on Piers Morgan's show. Ain't nothing wrong with going to do business with them, invest in their minerals. Ghana. A lot of our research takes us back to Africa, where the land where our ancestors crossed over into. And people don't understand. I didn't understand that when my Igbo brother Judah told me that. Gad told me that. We crossed over. People don't understand why Shem is in Africa. Because of Canaan. Because of what Ham, Shem, and Japheth, and Ham's children had, all the children of Noah had did unto Canaan and his descendants for what they did when they took that land. They shouldn't have been touched. The Most High put a covenant on it. You can't break his covenant. It's a law that's operating not just in the land, but in the people and the people of that land. A lot of us don't understand that. We religious. We have to be woke up. This is the awakening. Welcome to the rise of an ancient kingdom. God's people. It's time to go to work, baby. On kingdom business. We already got what we need. And they calling on this government, forget about it. The only governor you need to call on is the governor, which is the Holy Spirit of the Father. That's already set to fulfill whatever you need to get done. That's within context of what the Most High has commanded him. It's already written about you. You already know. And that spirit is going to bring it to your remembrance. Like I was saying with Exodus, when I read Exodus and think about what our ancestors been through, especially just reading that, seeing that video again to refresh one of the brothers, one of the gods said, peace to the God, peace Dennis. He sent me that video, which I already read about and I watched it. The Hebrews was just talking, the brothers was just talking about it. About a year or so ago. Well, the information been out there though. That our ancestors built the Whitehouse. They ain't have no heavy equipment to even move the stones. They moved them. So I liken it to who? I know that was our people. The science was there. That was in Egypt. The Hebrews. Because our people carry them same characteristics. Look at how America was built. It's like it's reminiscent. It's a playbook right out the Bible. How they built Egypt. Think about it. Then look at the founding fathers of this nation. What type of knowledge they operate in? They don't operate according to thus saith the Most High. The Most High's laws. Hell no. Democracy don't have nothing to do with law. Democracy stands against law. Law is natural. Because everything is set according to his word. He created all things, right? So that means that's the order. The order. There's an instruction that's embedded in all things created for you to operate it. To operate in it, to operate it, period. You did. That's that law. It's eternal, family. Yeah. So that's why I started going to church. They be lying and they lack the information that's truly needed to move God's people. People every day on here talking about America and what they ain't doing and complaining. Is no, you don't get information talking about unlocking the truth and telling the people you need to return to who you are. I love that by Hezekiah. Y'all need to check Hezekiah out. Not just Hezekiah, John Boy, Hezekiah, all the Hebrew Israelite superstars. Isham, Burgundy, that sister Zamira, Israel, that made Israelite man. Y'all check that out. Sis be doing her thing. You got Peasy, the real Judah. I can never forget Peasy. He made my songs. Y'all check Peasy out. You ain't gonna hear a lot about him in these streams. Some people be talking about him. But yeah, they were some of the first who was out front making them songs. John Boys for sure. Out front, making bringing that Hebrew Israelite music to the streets. Bypassing the world and what the hell they talking about. They ain't got no game. They ain't got no knowledge. They don't understand the eternal, who we are. They want to follow, I ain't gonna talk about people, but these people I'm speaking about are the people who accept their lot of who they are, came out of the world and returned to what the Father established. King Lou, the best thing happening in life. That's what we're supposed to be doing, establishing the kingdom. You have to. Well, ain't nothing free in this world. You got to pay for everything. Stop lying to people. I ain't no sucker. If it's free, just send it to me. People think we slow. Once I said, you gonna work. Man shall earn from the sweat of his brow. The sweat of his brow means you gonna be busting moves, baby. You gonna be working. But America tell you, oh no, just use credit. Just pay your bill. There ain't nothing wrong with that, but that credit, dead it. Get that shit out of here. A street hustler should know that. When you hear that shit talking about credit, that's how I be like, okay. But no, because then somebody can get to control whether I get the shit or not. Let my work, my ability to run business, establish business, set it up, and operate it effectively, where it could produce a tax bracket where I could pay taxes. I don't understand why the fuck the government, American government, don't empower its people like that. But they give them what they need, the machines or whatever. They just want to empower a few of their friends. This is how wicked they is and weak. I'm gonna open the door for all my citizens. It ain't gonna be just talking about no fucking corporations. The nations with the resources such as Africa, where they can reach Africa, we can. Africa ain't fucking with them though, because you've been robbing Africa. You haven't repented of it, so I don't blame them for not messing with us. Repent and do right by them. They want them to bow down. People think, like I was listening to these, I heard this guy asking people questions, and there was a majority of Europeans, and he asked them, do you think Africa is poor? It was like, it's the poorest nation. Now I was like, what's the poorest nation? It was like Africa. Family, when I heard that shit, I'm like, nah, I paid attention. I watched the video several times. I don't know nobody things the wrong way. And they trusted, just like we did, until you went and did your research. Think about it. That's why you got Terrence Howard restructuring how you look at math, which makes sense. Think about it. You have a sum of one, and you multiply against nothing, and it takes the sum away once you multiply it against nothing. How the fuck is that possible? That's not even, come on, family, that shit how? You have a sum of one. I wonder if everybody ever thought of it. Here you have evidence, which is one. It's like faith. The substance of things hoped for, but evidence of things not seen. So you have a substance in that value of one. It's just like planting a seed. I plant that seed, it's gonna multiply. It's gonna be fruitful, meaning it's gonna grow many, many branches, and whatever fruit or vegetable on there is gonna bloom. All I have to do is pick them off and never cut the root, and it will be fruitful and multiply for as long as we take care of it and don't destroy it. That's multiplication. But notice that it's expanding, it's adding to, not taking away. Like, who the fuck with math? You never, I used to ask myself a lot of questions, but you can't you can't say these type things around people because a lot of people look at me like they know I ain't stupid. Hey, I ain't saying I'm the smartest cookie I'm the smartest knife in the bunch, but they know I ain't stupid. That's common fucking sense. How do you multiply away the sum against no sum, zero? There's nothing in the zero. So how is that able to take away the sum that you bringing to it to be multiplied? That's one to grow on. Brothers don't, and brothers ain't ignorant. Brothers ain't stupid. I ain't finna get into no Terrence Howard shit or talking about what he doing, but just notice. Pay attention to the truth. Truth shall make you free. Nothing else. My stuff need to hurry up and dry. I'm gonna go out here in this kiss hole. I got to go fight Jack Frost. I ain't mad at him. I don't care because we movers and shakers. I got these clothes I need to post to. Post my new joints. I got my hoodie I put together with my chosen print. That baby came out dope. Man, that baby came out dope. I got to go show that off. That's gonna bring something back, right? That's work. I created something of value. Watch what it brings back. But that's my shirt. I ain't selling it. I made the hoodie. I'm not selling it. It's a hoodie given to me by my mama. Y'all know how mamas is. Precious mother. I love my mama. Mama, stop buying presents. Don't buy me no presents. I don't follow paying holidays. Boy, you tell me what to buy. I'm gonna buy you, man, mama. Your sons is half 100. You talking about buying presents? Don't mess with my mama. She gonna buy you something for Christmas. She gonna buy you something for your birthday. She gonna buy you something for every holiday like clockwork. I'm like, okay, mom. Yeah, mama ain't trying to hear none of that. Mama gonna buy what she buy. You can take it or leave it. And you better be appreciative. I'm like, mama, you know we don't follow no pagan holidays. What's wrong with you? And then you gotta run up out of there. Then you gotta run out of the house. You tell her that. Oh no, let me go. Cause mom finna jump on your ass like Tiger Lily. Don't play with her. Do not play with her. You're gonna take this present and be happy about it. Mama say, you the one don't celebrate holidays, not me. I love you, baby. And be gone on you like what, bro? Hard headed, mama. I love my mama. That's my favorite girl. And she all about that. I'm gonna be on her business. Daddy too. They don't play. Guess I could say I come from a good stock of people. Damn good stock of people. I thank God. Ooh. You got to pray for some of our elders. Some of our elders be tweaking. I be patient with them because I understand who we are, what we've been through. And then there's a rejuvenating. Once you find out these things, get the right knowledge, you can reprogram yourself. Get a lot of that bad information out. Reprogram yourself. Practicing. I gotta call my son or two. We gotta get on our workout. All right, y'all. Peace and blessings. Be vigilant and get in on that information. Check these channels out and find out what's shaking in these other nations. It's definitely going to affect us. It's definitely going to affect our bottom line.